Whenever Tom and I were showing houses for selling real estate, the houses that were empty were always my favorite because they felt bigger, they're more spacious, you could imagine where stuff would go, but there's just something peaceful about it. You just walk into a room like this and you're just like, sigh, like, oh, there's nothing in here to manage, to take care of, to worry about, to clean, to organize, to dust. There's nothing that I have to do in a room like this. I could literally just sit down and just relax. I could read a book. I could just sit in here and just do nothing. And my friend Matilda was recently staying at a residence in one of those extended stay hotels, and she sent a picture of the kitchen inventory. So they had this inventory sheet in the kitchen of what should be in this little kitchenette in this residence inn. And even as I was looking at that, I was like, oh, that just feels so good. And I'm like, wait a second, why am I having that reaction of like looking at this little inventory for kitchen and being like, oh, that would be so nice. And I realized that because it's so little inventory to manage, right? We talk about inventory all the time, that every item in our house is a piece of inventory that we have to manage. And I think for so many of us, we would like a reset like this, right? We would like someone to come in, remove all the stuff that we're not using, leave us with just this little inventory of just the essentials, kind of like when we talk about like a vacation rental. Give me just the stuff I need and take everything else with you. Make the decisions for me so that I don't have to do it, right? And it would feel so good. We would love that and we would welcome that. And so while we can't do that for you today, how can we achieve this faster? Obviously, you don't want completely empty rooms, but how could we get to a point where when we walk into our house, we let out a sigh of relief. We're home. We're a place where we're away from the chaos of the world, where we can recharge and refresh ourselves and just have some time where we don't have to manage or take care of so much stuff. Well, hi, I'm Dawn from The Minimal Mom. If we haven't met before, I'm married to Tom and we have 4 kids ages 7 through 11. And in our former life, we did sell real estate, which was fun. But now we love sharing tips and tricks for you to simplify your house. Your pursuit doesn't have to be minimalism, but a simplified house so that you can enjoy it and relax when you're at home. And so many of us want this. And so how do we get here? How do we get to a place where if we inventoried our kitchen, it wouldn't be page after page after page, right? Like we could potentially fit it on like 1 page, right? How do we get our inventory pared down? And how do we do it quickly and with using as little mental energy as possible? Because most of us don't have a lot of energy to spare right now. It's just the season we're in. And I think it's important to reframe how we look at stuff, how we look at the physical items in our house. So let's look at an example. This is my current purse bag. And when I bought it because I needed something to carry my stuff around with. So the purpose of this item was to carry my stuff. So if we hold up an item, we say, what was the purpose of it? To transport my stuff around. And then the next question we ask is it fulfilling that purpose? And when we just say yes or no, there's no in-betweens, yes or no. Yes, this currently is. If it's a no, then we let it go. And now I want to be careful here because it's like, oh, well, it's not always that simple, right? So let's look at another example. Here's a black shirt. This shirt is to clothe ourselves with. Is it fulfilling that purpose? Well, it's a little too small right now, but if I lost 5 pounds, it would fit perfectly. And then yes. No, so this is the second part of the rule. We ask what the purpose is to clothe ourselves. Is it a yes or a no? Right here today, it's a no. And so then that means that this item has to go. And it's these gray areas where we get hung up and we get tired making decisions. It's when we start saying, well, but I would like to wear that again someday. Well, if I started working out again, I would like to wear that. And that is where the system breaks down. And that's where we make decluttering harder than it has to be. And that's where we get further and further away from having a home that is peaceful and restful and relaxing, and that is mentally is a safe place and a calming place to go to. Okay, so again, if we want to get there quicker, if we want to have a reset in our house and really have our home be a peaceful place to be, we ask ourselves, what's the purpose of this item? Because it's just a physical item. It has no feelings or anything. What's the purpose? Is it fulfilling that purpose in my life? If it's not a clear yes, it's a no, and it's gone. And then we go on to the next item. Okay, what's the purpose of this? It's a candle. It helps our house smell good and it has nice ambiance. Is it fulfilling that purpose? Well, this one's not, because I have 12 other candles and this one was pushed to the back of my cabinet and I haven't used it in 12 months. So is it fulfilling the purpose? No. Could it somehow, someday? Yes, it probably could down the road, but right here today, with my goal being a peaceful, relaxing, calming house, is this filling the purpose? No, it's not. And I think what's hard about this is that often when we sit down to go declutter and we have all of this stuff in front of us and we start making decisions, we've forgotten what our goal is. And so a lot of times I talk about, this sounds cheesy and I don't know if anyone ever actually does it, but I talk about literally taking a Post-it note or a piece of paper and saying, what is my goal? If my goal is a peaceful home that is super easy to manage, like that Residency Inn with that really small kitchen inventory, if that is my goal for my house to be super easy to manage so that when I walk in, it feels peaceful, it feels like it's good to be home. If that is my goal, then I am gonna have to make tough decisions. And when I say no, my no means no, right? If it's not a clear yes, it's a no, and that item is gone, because really at the end of the day, no physical items are really making my life that better. If we really look, I've read this before, that as Americans, we only use 20% of the stuff in our house. Very few things are making my life better. And so I have to get tougher on this stuff, but I have to keep my why or my vision in front of me. So I love using a Post-it note or a piece of paper and keeping that baby right in front of you when you go to declutter. So when you hold something up and you're like, well, but I could use it, you say no. It's a no, because I am more concerned about having a peaceful home right now. Tom's youngest sister just had a baby, and anytime a baby's born, it causes you to think about life. And then on the other hand, and we've lost many people who are close to us too this past year, right? And have friends that are walking through that. And I was just thinking about it today as I'm looking at a picture of a brand new baby and thinking about these friends who are grieving. And I'm like, at both ends of the spectrum, this physical stuff, it adds no value. It really adds no value. And so by continuing to pare down our inventory to get to a point where our house is peaceful, but also my energy is freed up, right? Like I want to have time to go visit new babies and to grieve with friends who are grieving. I want to be in a place emotionally where I feel like, okay, I can handle the stuff that comes at me on a daily basis. And this physical stuff is not the answer, right? It's not the answer. And so we have to keep it in its proper place. And I know we hold up some of this stuff and our brains directly go to, but I spent money on that. The intentions we had for it. I thought I was gonna use it with this outfit or for these occasions, right? And our brain starts going down that path and we have to say, stop, hang on. I might have made a mistake by purchasing this item, but the bigger mistake moving forward would be to hang on to it, because keeping stuff that adds no value just perpetuates the mistake. It keeps the mistake going, or it keeps offending us, right? By keeping it in our house. The best thing we can do is say, well, I made a mistake. I'm a human being. It happens to me, it happens to you, it happens to my neighbor, it happens to my friends, but I'm not gonna let that stop me anymore. It might have hung me up in the past, but I've got my Post-it note here. I know what my vision is. I know what I need my house to function like, and I'm gonna be crystal focused on that right now. And I've been talking about this a little bit in our Facebook groups and some of the Facebook groups related to that. Everyone is going through something hard right now. I don't know a person that's not, who's just like, life's great, there's no problems, everything's going smoothly. I don't know a single person like that right now. Everyone is going through something. So I know you're going through something right now too, right? And so one of the best things we can do for ourselves, the best form of self-care or loving ourselves or valuing ourselves when there are hard things going on, is to move the clutter out of your house so that you can walk in and have your home be a peaceful place to be, not just for you, but for everyone else that lives in your house too. And of course, I'm not implying that you should live in a completely empty house, right? Like, we have furniture and stuff too. But like I said, there is just something when you walk in, when there's a space and there's room, like there is just something in our soul that just sighs, right? And it's just like, okay, I can relax, I can rest. There's nothing in here right now telling me something to do. So, complete permission to let things go. That if it is not a clear yes, it's a no, and you have permission to let stuff go. Even if you could wear it down the road, you could wear it if you decided to start exercising again, or if you lost 5 pounds. That's okay. Tell yourself, I'll cross that bridge when I get there, but for here today, I need my house to be peaceful. So at the risk of sounding like a broken record, you have permission to let that stuff go and to prioritize your peace of mind and a peaceful home over this physical stuff that's not adding any value. I think I should also link to the silent to-do list, because I think as I was talking about that and walking in and feeling like, there's nothing to do in here, a big piece of that is the idea of the silent to-do list, right? That every item in our house is telling us something to do. So I will link to that video. I know many of you have said it's actually been helpful to share that video with like spouses and other people in your household as well, to help them understand why you're decluttering and why this stuff nags at you. So I'll link to that video as well. But I'm excited for you. I know there's a lot going on. I know there's a lot of stress and different things right now, and you might even not even have a lot of time or energy to declutter, but have this crystal clear vision, keep it in front of you, and you can get your house decluttered, and it is gonna feel so good. I love you. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.